What's up guys, my name is Jragon and welcome back to the logistical nightmare known as Satisfactory. In the last episode we set up all of this production to get us our first space elevator phase, which is just about finished. I think it has only a few more to make, only 5 more, and we'll be ready to send it off into the atmosphere. In today's episode I want to get coal power at least started and eventually start automating all of these things to make the reinforced steel plates as well as rotors, because those will be very important to do. But of course, before we get too much into this episode, if you guys do end up enjoying it and would like to see more, do be sure to hit the subscribe button down below. It helps out a ton. But with that being said, I gathered a little bit more of the biomass that we ever so likely will need. And it's made so far about 560 solid biofuel, so you know, not bad. And we've built up a nice amount of resources for us to use in the meantime, minus the plates, because they just are slower. So all we gotta do is launch up these smart platings, get phase 1 done, and unlock coal power. There we go, 50 smart plating, that is all we need. So we just put those in, seal it up, and send it on its way. There we go. So now we have ourselves Tiers 3 and 4 in the hub, which means we can unlock coal power and basic steel production, which will be massive, although that is going to take quite a few reinforced iron plates. So what we're going to do is basically just handcraft all of those. Only 150, that shouldn't be too bad, I don't think. Alright, now we can shove everything into here. And we have unlocked coal power, only 2 hours in. That's actually really good. And one of these coal generators will be not enough for our machines, but it will basically run half of them, I believe. So we only need about 2 of them to run our entire factory so far, which is not a lot at all. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna scan for some coal. Hopefully there's some not too far away from here. 700 meters in that direction, and then there's 2 other ones just down here. It looks like we're gonna go to right about over here, which is fine. It's not that far of a distance. It's not that bad. What I'm planning on doing for the actual coal power itself is setting up somewhere over there, as I feel like it would just be a better option than moving it all over with all of our machines, just so we save on space. But this will be plenty of space for a pretty large generator. So yeah, we will definitely take it. So now all we need to do is head over to the coal, which I believe was right around here. So we're gonna head over that way. We're also gonna drag our power lines that way as well. Okay, so we have a slight issue. Nothing too bad, because we do have a way up there. But our coal is up on this cliff. And I mean all the way up on this cliff. Because it is right up here, and we can't get up there. Yeah, we'll manage that when I get up there, but there seems to be a little walkway right over there, so we'll go look at that. And our coal is all right up here, which is good. And these are all pure nodes, I believe, or at least that one's pure. And yep, also pure. All right, that's actually really big. 3 pure nodes means we can get, with Mark 1 miners, 120 per second per node. So that's around 360 coal a second, which actually is very, very big. We can slap that down in the middle, so this should be good to go. Yep, our power is all the way up here, although we are only doing 120. And now we can get our coal. We also need water, but we are right next to a lake, so I'm not going to worry about it. And that should start working for us pretty much immediately. And then we could just make a little outcrop somewhere over here and start dragging the coal back. So all we need to do is drag this conveyor belt all the way over to here. And now we gotta send this conveyor lift all the way down. So we send this side all the way down. There we go. So now whenever we get our stuff going, we should start seeing coal coming down, which actually I can see it right now. There is 100% coal coming down from up there. Perfect. So now we can just start dragging this all the way back. Alright, so we have the coal coming all the way back over here now, which is good. So now all we have to do is set up water generators, which just means we need probably a little bit more items. Yeah, we definitely need more. So we're just going to build a little bit of a foundation, probably just right around here. The water should be able to reach. Yeah, we should be good. So we're going to grab our coal generators, which each of these should be only a foundation wide. And now we need to get our water generation as well as our coal actually over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to come out down here. I think this spot will be good. And what we're going to do is just put down 2 of these water extractors. And we're actually out of copper sheets. But we have a majority of the water set up, so we'll just get that done whenever we do have the materials. And then we just got to bring over the coal. So what we're going to do is attach these like so, just to make it even. And we are going to set this over to this one instead. Now that should be the coal all ready to go, and all we need to do now is get the water done, put the power back on, and that should start generating us some extra power, and that should be infinite unless the coal doesn't get in there fast enough, or the water. Yeah, all of that fluctuating of production, don't think it's the coal generators, because the coal generators generate a ton of power, so it wouldn't be that little of fluctuation. However, the lights on the coal generators are still red, so we actually are not using up any of the actual coal yet, so that's good. Which, yeah, we're not getting any water. That's fine, that's what I expected. And this should hopefully allow our water to get to our coal generators now, once we power this thing, like so. But that also turns up the flow rate, and this should now be getting water to our generators. Now we're getting some power. I do not know why these first 2 are not running. Maybe I forgot to attach them. No, they are attached. Insert fuel. Oh, I forgot to do that. There we go. Now all 4 of these should be running, which they are, and we will have to wait and see if they keep running smoothly. We should have plenty of water for these guys because we have 2 of the pumps, and each of these takes 50 a minute. Or no, they consume 45 a minute. So these 4 coal generators need 180 per minute, and those 2 over there are both producing 120 per minute. So we should have plenty of water going into these things. So now we have 300 megawatts of production in these coal generators, which is perfect. Alright, so now what we can do is, now that we have a sufficient amount of power, is we can tear down this entire building. Or, well, a majority of it. Not all of it, because we will keep the smelters, but a majority of this will be torn down and replaced with a building that will just make us a lot of reinforced iron plate, because that does take a lot of resources to do, but once we get it all nice and set up, we will be on our way and making a ton of them. So my goal is to eventually start making 2 assemblers worth of reinforced iron plates a minute, which I believe is, I think, 8? I may be incorrect, but we should be able to see in 1 second. Alright, so if you put down an assembler, we can see what these are going to take. We can use the bolted iron plate recipe, which just means it's going to be a little bit more expensive, but it makes a lot more plates per minute. So if we do the bolted iron plate recipe, it'll take 90 iron plates a minute and 250 screws a minute, which if we do iron plates normally, it means we will need approximately 5 of these. One of them will just have to be underclocked. 150 iron ore a minute for that, which is fine because we do have these 2. But 250 screws a second is much more difficult, because each constructor only makes 40 screws per minute. So if we do 250 divided by 40, that means we need 6.25 or 7 constructors of screws, which if we do 7 times 10 means we're going to need 70 rods, and each rod is 15 per minute. So if we do the math, we'll need 5 constructors for rods, which means we will need 70 iron per minute. So if we add up the math, we need 150 for the plates and 70 for the rods. So So we do 150 plus 70, that equals 220, which we do actually have enough iron to do. This is actually going to make enough resources, because this does 120 and that does 120. So I'm going to tear down these smelters real quick because they just are not working the way I want them to. And we're going to tear down a lot of these power poles because they are kind of useless. So what we're going to do is attach a splitter to this and then pretty much immediately split them up. First, we're going to get this to come back this way. We're going to immediately attach a splitter to the side of this as well as on the other side, like so. This then will split it up into 4 even belts, or at least it should. And all of these will go into smelters, which is perfect. And then we need to do the same thing over here. And now all these can be set up to smelt us some iron. And then we can merge all of these together. Actually, we can merge 2 of them together per thing. So now we have 240 iron ingots per minute. So now what we're going to need to do is split off 30 of this and bring it over that way, I believe. So this is 30 each, so that's 60. And these are 30 each. So this will be 90, and if we split it that way, that'll be 120. So what we're going to do is actually just take this smelter and bring it over here. We don't even need to attach any of them together. None of these mergers are actually needed because all of these will go into their own separate constructors, which will be making us iron plates. So that should be good to go. We're going to need 5 constructors for the plates. And all of these should be making us some iron plates. Now the only problem is one of these assemblers takes 90 plates per minute, and our belts only do 60. So that means we are going to need to unlock Logistics Mark II, which actually is not that expensive. That's very easy. So now we can come over here and put in all of that. And that is Logistics Mark II done. So what we're going to do, basically just merge all of these together with some of these. And this should then come out as 90 a minute. So what we're going to do is put down our assembler just right up in here. We're going to need a little bit more space though. We're going to put our assembler right down right here and attach our Mark II conveyor belt just right there. So now we got to worry about the screws, which means we are going to need a lot of assemblers. So each of these is making 30 iron a minute, which means we are going to need 6 constructors for screws. That's going to go directly into there and split off between these 3 and then that one over there. So now this should be making, what, 15 times 6? 90 iron rods a minute, so we're going to need 9 things of screws, which that should be actually overkill. And then this one can just go over to here. So this constructor is actually not needed. We can get rid of this, and we can get rid of this. So that should be running, and now we need to power all of these. Now the only problem actually that I didn't think of is this is 250 per minute, which nothing we have will work for that, but we'll make a way around it. What we can do is just connect a merger directly to this and then do 2 belts of 120. Actually, we could do 3 belts. Alright, so we have 31 plates, so now that should be able to automatically get itself right over to here. Perfect. So now this should be running at peak efficiency. We shouldn't have to worry about it at all. And now we can just get ourselves a little storage container right over here, and we should be good to go once that is ready. But I'm actually going to end it off here. We got coal power unlocked and ready and already up. We got automated reinforced iron plates, albeit not that many. We're only making 15 per minute, but once we unlock steel, we can make way more than that. But if you all enjoyed, do be sure to hit the subscribe button down below. It helps me out a ton. And if you have any suggestions for things you want me to do in this game, then do also comment those down below. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you all have a good rest of your day or night, depending on where you are. And I will talk to you all later.